Hello, my name is Okada, and welcome back to Pixel Perfect Season 2. This is episode 6. I know I still do the little arc thing. That's a habit from Season 1. We're kind of skipping the intro today because we have so much to do. I know we did a little cinematic there at the beginning. Did a whole lot of work between episodes on the neighborhood to the tune of like 12 hours or something like that. It's been a lot of work. But we don't have time for that today because we are going to unlock what is arguably one of the most important milestones in the game, which of course is steel, and that's what we're going to be working on today. You see, steel, I say, is the most important, or probably one of the most impactful, because it gives us all kinds of things like the Mark III belt, the Mark IV belt. It gives us our Mark II miner. It unlocks a bunch of cosmetics that we're going to be using, steel frames and beams and all kinds of stuff. And so the impact of these unlocks is going to be felt throughout the entire season. Now, the reason why we're standing all the way over here is, again, because of the 1-year anniversary for Satisfactory, which is going on in the hub, and I can't really turn off the music. It's not annoying thing, I just didn't want to have to talk over it, so we'll be running over there. But also, since the steel milestones are kind of all tied together, we'll probably get through them fairly quickly. So we need to be looking forward to kind of getting the space elevator started. We're not going to push it heavy, but like we can do the smart plating right now. So we can have this running in the background, and that's what we're going to do as well. And there's another thing that we want to have on the timer, so let's run over here real fast. Again, this isn't an intro, we don't need to cut to anything. So let's get our basic steel production unlocked. This is really important, aside from the fact that we're going to be working on steel today, but for another reason. I'll show you real quick like. Hear the music in the background. Yeah, let's run in here real quick. This is great. I don't know how long this is going to be going on for, but it's pretty cool. The balloons, you can interact with them. I'll kind of nudge them around. Pizza. Maybe I'll have some pizza tonight. Oh, they even decorated the bathroom. All right, let's not get distracted. The reason why I wanted to quickly get this done before we started anything else is because, where is, here, okay. Let's grab our hard drives. Now, the way I play this game is that I don't really look for specific recipes. I know that there are a lot of recipes that are considered kind of the best by some people. For the most part, I disagree with that. I think that one of the fun parts of the game is to get whatever recipes you just get, and then you allow that to kind of steer the way you build your factory. So for the most part, I don't have specific recipes that I say, well, this is the one I have to have, and this is the only one I'm going to use, and that's not the way I play it. But there are a couple of recipes that I do feel are just clearly better than everything else. And we've already seen that with the cast screw recipe. Grab this real quick, like. Right, so screws normally take iron rods. So it's iron ingot to iron rod to screws. And it's a 1 to 4. But at the cast screw recipe, again, 1 to 4 without rods. So it's just better. Sometimes it makes the math a little funny on the outputs, but that's not relevant. So there is one of those when it comes to steel. And so we needed to do that unlock so that it's possible for us to get steel-related hard drives. And so I wanted to get that counter started. You can see I've reorganized these just to get them a little bit out of the way. But I wanted to get the timer started because it takes 10 minutes at a time to unlock the hard drives. And we've got so much we're going to be doing today. And, let's just let the timer run in the background, because one of the cool new features of 1.0 or 1.1, I think, is that we can have multiple hard drives that we don't have to necessarily take them as soon as they're done. And we discovered this back in, I think, the first episode or two. Finally get around to getting back here, getting it. We don't have to take all of the hard drives as we unlock them. And from what I understand, is that if we don't like the recipes that the hard drive is giving us, if we don't take either of them, because remember it gives us 2 at a time, then future hard drives cannot roll those as long as they're sitting there waiting to be accepted. Which means we can kind of forcibly eliminate recipes to try to get the one that we want. So we're going to be running these hard drives while we go, and hopefully we'll just find the one hard drive that we want to find. All right, so steel. Is there? Oh yeah. Well, so I'm going to hang on a second here. I'm going to go and get the items that we need for the smart plating. Again, we need 1,000 of these to be made, and it's a 1-for-1. So we need 1,000 reinforced iron plate, 1,000 rotors. Give me just a quick second. All right, let's see here. Boop. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And that was the top one. All right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, maybe I didn't have enough. It was silly there. For some reason, I thought they stacked in 200s. 1, 2, 3, 4. All right. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Excellent. Okay. So smart plate done. We'll never have to look at that again. Okay. So before I did that little pause there, I started just running this direction. And the reason for that is because I already know roughly where we're going to build our steel. And I've known that since the first time we scanned for coal. Just do that quick like here so I can actually show you what I'm talking about. This is how much of a hurry we're in. We have so much to do. Also, we're going to need to expand our power infrastructure, but we'll get up to that in a bit. Okay, so a key component, in fact, the key component to steel is, of course, coal. And there's a whole bunch of coal up here. Now, back when we unlocked our coal power, I said that we might come back up here and just, make a big power plant. But I don't think that's what's going to happen. And in the back of my mind, I knew that wasn't going to be it. Because all of that means that's a lot of steel we can make. So this is the area we're going to go to, and we're going to scout that out for where we would like to build a facility for steel. Pardon me, sir. All right. Yeah, here we are. Okay. So the coal is going to be way down there. The slug. And I don't think I want to build down there. I got some ideas. But this terrain is a little bit hilly. Might be a little bit of a challenge. We'll see what we're going to do here. I think, and I know we haven't scanned for iron, right? Because we need iron for it as well. But iron's everywhere. I don't care about the iron. I want to build up here 411 meters. Okay, let's just actually go down there. Because that's the way up right there. The main reason why I don't want to build down there is because we are, doing our cityscape type, idea, the theme of the season. And I don't want to build a road down there that looks like something that, we would be driving on. It's not real easy to do that kind of down curve. Plus, I actually have something in mind I think might be pretty cool to pull off. We'll be bringing the coal probably along the way and then bring it up and build up there maybe. I'm going to play around with it. But I think that's what we're going to do. Let's check the purities here. And the other plan in this is that we're going to pre-math this. Excuse me, sir. We're going to pre-math this for Mark II miners and for Mark III belts. Okay. And, we'll just use Mark I miners and Mark II belts in the meantime. We are... Oh, yeah, no, okay, we're okay on hand. Ah! You know what? Oh, that's right. I don't have that sword yet. Okay. Gimme. Okay. So we have normal node. Normal node. All right. All right, over here. Normal node. I swear there's 4. Right? We saw 4 when we came in. I thought there was a 4th one around here. There is. Okay. Where are you at, buddy? Where are you hiding? Oh, under a rock. Okay, so we're not going to have access to this because this is going to require an obelisk. That's fine. We can do the math of 4 normals and just kind of, place out the infrastructure. And then later on when we get obelisks, then we'll come back and free it up. Oh, actually, real quick before I do that. Bam. Hard drive complete. That's pretty decent in the future. It's not any good for now. We're not going to use either of these anytime soon. Stitched iron plate. This is good. I like this. It's not my favorite iron plate, but it's good. Well, but we're going to hold this in place because this is not what we're looking for. So these, ideally, cannot be chosen by our next hard drive. And we're just going to leave them there until we're ready to use that stitched iron plate recipe, and then we'll accept it at that point. All right, I know it looks like I haven't moved. I have. I just happen to be down here again when the hard drive's finished. Let's see what we got. Everybody says. So this we will end up using in the future as a good way to sink off water, but we probably will never use either of these. Bolted iron plate. So this is my actual favorite iron plate recipe. This is good too. These are both good recipes, but it's not what we're looking for. So our last hard drive, I might actually just start running around looking for hard drives. So yeah, let's let it begin. Actually, you know what? Before we do that, yeah, I haven't been stopping, and now someone finally found me. There is. Excuse me, sir. Rude. I'm gonna get my face. I'm gonna get in yours. Or in your something else. Okay. There we get the ability to scan for hard drives. And I don't know if it's here. But anyway, we mentioned earlier that we were going to be able to, once we got our Nobilis, we can get that other coal seam opened up. We'll be able to do that almost immediately. That's right here. And it requires steel. So as we get the base level of steel production going, we'll be able to unlock that. Now, I also should clarify, our first steel production will not be our last steel production. For now, we just need to get it unlocked because we need some steel to do other things before we build a full facility. Like, we're going to need to expand our power, which requires Mark III belts. Also, I want to unlock a bunch of steel-related cosmetics for the build. So, this is going to be a work in progress. Okay, I'm going to have to figure out where the scanner for hard drives is. Because I don't think we don't have it yet. And then that'll be a thing. All right, enough time. Let me get back to work. All right, I'm back at base real quick, like here. I was talking earlier about being able to scan for hard drives. I was just being silly. I forgot. We already have that ability, but it's not through the scanner. It's through field research. The object scanner. Okay. So, I think we can already look for hard drives. Let's make one of these. And of course, the other hard drive's done, it's been done for some time. I haven't actually looked at it yet. Look at that. So paleberry, trail nut, no mushrooms, summer sloop. Oh, we don't have the. We can't scan for it. Okay, I thought that was a thing. All right, let's look at the hard drives. Wait a minute, oh, right, because we rolled off of the wet concrete, so it came up again. All right, that's fine. That's okay. I was just surprised to see it a second time. This could get used in the future, but like end game. We're definitely not using that. Okay, so we didn't get what we're looking for. Alternate for iron pipe probably will be useful at some point. Iron ingots to make steel pipes. Oh, I don't remember this recipe. That's nice. Seriously, we can use iron to go straight to steel? Oh, we'll definitely end up taking that. All right, I've been working on a little prototype thing. I'm not going to show you it yet because it looks terrible. But I'm also going to run just some belting and start producing steel just like sitting on some platforms so that we can use the steel to start doing these unlocks that we need. We're not going to actually build the facility yet. We may not build it today, but see, it's pretty easy, right? We get the basic steel going, we get our Mark III belts. We have to get our Mark III belts because we need our power. We do not have the power to run the facility. Just straight out, do not have the power. It'll also get us up to advanced steel, which will get us our Mark II miner. So I've been spending all my time building something that I'm not willing to show you yet because it looks absolutely terrible. It's a proof of concept. It's all placeholders because I know I need steel stuff. I'm going to stop doing that. I'm going to get steel running. And let's get some things done that we have to get done. All right, so I got sidetracked. I haven't started the steely stuff yet. I knew, I knew that we had hard drives that we haven't gotten to yet in the area, and so I've just been running around. I want to get another hard drive. Oh, super easy. Awesome. Gimme. Excellent. And dismantle. I mean, if you ever need hard drives, just run around and look up, look up. Because they crash onto high things a lot of times. Okay, I've run temporary belts and put up this little platform. This is just going to be our temporary steel. In fact, we're not even going to be able to run all 3 of these foundries because our belts aren't fast enough, and then we're not going to be able to run all 4 of these. One of them's even turned off. And just to add icing to the whole thing, again, I've been working on something that's probably not going to work out. Maybe it will. I don't want to show it to you, but it's within line of sight of where I'm standing, and I'm going to inevitably turn around and accidentally see it. So let's just rip the Band-Aid off. I'm going to turn around. I'm going to show you this god-awful outline. Again, it's just a generic structure to get me some feeling for whether or not this is something I can pull off. All right, so just bear with me. Okay, here we go. There it is. I know that doesn't look like anything to you. That's fine. It's not supposed to look like anything to you, but it's something. It's going to be something, but I need a whole lot of steel products before I can actually do it. It's just kind of a box outline. If you can figure out what that is, feel free to comment on it, because I don't think we're going to get to it in this episode because there's just so much else we have to do once we have the steel up and running. And, oops, I did not want to do that. You know what? Tough. All right. So, initial turning on of things, even though this isn't actually a building, you know, tradition. Go over there. It is still our first steel product, so, you know, I wanted to have you guys here with me when they get produced. Also, we need to take a look at our power because this is going to go over our production. I did reconnect our biogenerators. So our production right now is 600. So if you're not familiar with how the game works with power, so renewable sources like coal power and oil and everything else past bio produce at 100% all the time. This wasn't always true in early access, which was a real pain to balance everything. I was so happy when they changed that. But our capacity is above that. So this is all of our renewable power capacity. If we're producing at 600, that's just the way it goes. They're always running at full power. However, our capacity is higher because we have non-renewable sources connected to the network. So we have an extra 330 worth of biogenerators that are also on the network. So you see, we just tipped over 600. We didn't crash. That means when that goes over, our biogenerators kick in automatically. So we want to be mindful of this because, again, our biogenerators are a limited amount of fuel. We don't want to stress this too much, but it's going to get us by until we can double our coal production, because that's what we're going to do. Once we get enough steel produced, we're not watching it, leave it on the menus. So actually that one right there is turned off at the moment. This is still more steel than we're producing. So 20 here, or 30 here is being used. Between the two of these are 60 a piece, so that's 120. We're consuming 150 per minute. We're not producing 150 because these are 1-to-1, right? 1 iron, 1 coal to 1 steel. Our fastest belt is Mark II, which is 120. So the most we're producing from steel is 120 steel per minute. So that's why that one's even shut off. That's fine. We don't care. We do not care. If we cared, I could split these lines, right? I have multiple coal lines coming in, and we could bring more than 120 in per minute. But it's just, you know, I didn't want to run a bunch of belts to all these foundries. We just wanted to do one little manifold, and that's it. But what we're going to do is the plan is to unlock our Mark III belts and maybe our Mark II miners and go double our coal production because, again, all the way down here, I said coal production, coal power production. Down here, we have our coal generators. These are working on Mark II belts, 120 per minute. And once we have our Mark III belts, which are 270 per minute, because Mark III is that's like the best belt in the game. It goes beyond the doubling, right? Because we have 60 per minute on Mark I, it doubles to 120, Mark II. Instead of Mark III going to 240, it goes to 270. I think they were just being generous to us because at 270, it's divisible 3 times by 90. Believe me, this works out a lot better with a bunch of different combinations of stuff. So yay, Mark III, awesome. But we will have the Mark III, and we can turn this into an actual facility. It's meant to be an actual facility, not just a couple of generators sitting on blocks. So today's project is probably going to be turning this into a respectable work area while also doubling our power for our steel expansion, which again will probably happen next episode. So there you go. There's our plans for today. Oh, and look for more hard drives, because if this doesn't give us the recipe we're looking for, we're going to keep looking. So everybody says, cheap silicon, don't care. Automated miner, seriously, we will never, ever do that. And we didn't get what we're looking for. Okay. All right, we're going to sit on all these for now. It's funny because we could grab this iron pipe right here and use this right now to augment what we're doing. But I'm not going to bother. We're not going to bother with it. I think I'm going to go look for more hard drives. And I still do not know how to get the hard drive scanner, because I had that in early access, but I don't remember where they buried it. feels like it should be in this tree. But if I don't discover it in this episode, leave a comment if you know where the unlock is. I mean, I know I could Google for it, but I don't like doing that. I don't like the. It doesn't feel like cheating if we're working together. You know, as this is a collaborative effort, right? The comments direct the way the series go anyway, right? This is a collaboration, so we're working together. If you know where this stuff is, let me know, and maybe I can aim towards that. Okay, I've rambled on enough. I'm sure that we've wasted all kinds of time in this episode, and we still have a structure to build. So I will see you eventually. All right, I think we're probably about ready to do unlocks, and I'm carrying all of these on me because of another unlock. You know what? We could do that right here. Get some space. So, again, I've been productive off screen. Ma'am. Oh, we already have one here. I, real quick, unlocked black powder. And I stopped on my way to pick up the stuff that we need for obelisks. And of course we need steel as well. But you can see I produced some black powder. So we are set. I don't know that I'll actually clearing space up in our inventory, but excellent. Now we can build obelisks. I believe. Yeah, so that's hopefully that's it. We don't even need to leave that here. Actually, we don't want to put any more stuff in our inventory because we're full. Okay. Let's top off that stack. And let's get back to the hub. Let's see if we can get Mark III belts unlocked. You know, let's just grab this. All right, I want to get this done. Let's just cut to it. Logistics Mark III. I believe we have all of that. This is going to give us our Mark III belt. Yay! We're not going to be able to make much of it because it requires our steel beams. but it's all right. It's all right. We are making progress. Okay. Beautiful. Okay. Now, we're going to need... okay, good. We don't need any more for this. In fact, we have everything here. I don't necessarily have it on us, but we have... we probably need some more modular frames and some rotors from the neighborhood. But we can do this immediately and get ourselves a Mark II. So I'm going to go run and get the modular frames and the rotors and make sure we have enough concrete on us. And I think we'll just do this just back to back. You know, we got to wait for the thing to come back anyway. So give me a minute. We'll do that. And that way we'll have our Mark IIs available. We don't have to overclock the Mark I miner for the coal. All right, the lift has returned. Let's just knock this out, just right back to back. I didn't actually get concrete while I was there. That's okay, we have enough. Oh yeah, I told you the steel production is gonna go fast, or at least progress. I really want to get my hyper tubes up and running. We'll probably do like temporary hyper tubes until we get our rail network stuff going. There's so much about the map that's going to change once we have railroads. So a lot of it's going to be temporary for now. Oh, I would really like to have these. We'll worry about that later. Worry about it later. We don't have encased industrial beams anyway. That's actually pretty far down the road because they're a little bit demanding on production. So let's just worry about that later. Okay, I don't think there's anything else we need for now. So let's go design ourselves a power expansion. All right, real quick, I wanted to bring you in while we are still expanding our power grid because I wanted to show you some tricks with piping. And if you are a returning viewer from Season 1, you'll probably remember how I did this. It's a little bit OCD, but this is pixel perfect. It's the whole point. I don't want to take too much time on this, both because of, video time, but also because you can see I've taken these offline, so I had to redirect the water flow. So we are operating at a deficit right now on power. We're eating up biofuel. Okay, so real quick, I'm not going to go over the piping lining up for the water things. That's just a whole nother thing. But for these, what we're going to do is we're going to take these pipeline supports. Now these are things we didn't have the first time we did the coal in the other area, so we had to kind of improvise. But we're going to line this up right here with the middle of this, and we're going to come out by 1, move it over. There we go. That's all we need. So this is offset by 1. You see these are all offset by 1. They're 1 past where it's going. And this one's on the inside by 1. That will be important in a moment here. So I'm going to start drawing pipes. I love that they now inherit the color of the thing that we have copied. It's so nice. All right, going to delete. We're going to make an end cap. And then we're going to connect it. Look at that. How nice that is. Nice, good curve. Plenty of room for belting. Keeps all the fluids out of the way. Makes things so much easier. Now we're just going to delete all of these. End cap. And there we go. So it's important that I'm doing it in this order because I need the pipe, this pipe right here, to be 1 space off from the main pipe. If I had done it from this side, then this would be hanging over by 1 instead of being shy by 1, and you would end up with the junction being way offset. So that's why it's important the direction you do it in. Go ahead and get rid of that, get rid of that. It's a super easy flow once you get used to it. Let's do all that. And the last one, again, we offset in the opposite direction. This pipe we can just leave there. Let's go back across. And there you go. Very nicely piped. Look at that. It's beautiful. It would help if we connect the last one. And, you know, we'll have no problems with the flow of water in this. Now, we're going to have 2 sets here, so those will be independent coming off of the other 2 over there. We're going to need to do some overclocking because we need 270 water per minute, and these produce 120, so 240 for the 2. But, you know, it's under 300, so, you know, the piping has no problem with it on Mark 1. Okay, I've rambled on enough. I got a lot more work to do, so I'll bring you back. All right, everything is plugged in and wired up and ready to go. Again, a lot of construction still to happen, but we need to do some unlocks. And I just wanted to, you know, we like to turn things on, you know, while everyone's watching, right? It's kind of together, watching stuff come to life, and, you know, see whatever belts I might have forgotten to connect. All right, so our production should rapidly jump up. Great capacity is going, very good. That should shut off the biogenerators. So excellent. All right, I think we're fine on that. We'll look at them and make sure they're running as the coal gets through here. But we have some stuff that I want to unlock so that we can continue with this build. And we need awesome shop. And we need a awesome sink. And we don't have the cable for it. Oh no. Hang on. Okay, so I realized that I ran all the way to get cable and went past other existing awesome sinks, but you know what? Since we had to get the cable, we're gonna build it here. Oh, we need power to get stupid tickets from it. All right, try again. All right, 50 tickets. Yeah, we've been chugging along quite nicely. Gimme. Gimme. Thank you. All right, you go away. So, for things that we want to do here, I think we're going to go with the industrial walkways. I love both of these. I'm actually a little bit more partial to the modern ones, but we're doing industrial in this area. So, we're going to do that. I think we want the frame pillar set. No, maybe or maybe not for this area. We'll see when I get done building. But this is definitely going to be part of the thing that we're working on for the steel. So we're going to want those. Let's go ahead and get them. We want these beams for sure. This is new to me. I don't this wasn't in early access, and I think this came as part of 1.1. What were we at on? We should be fine on our tickets. And we need this. 10 tickets for the structural set. Oh, goodness. But we absolutely need that. Okay. There's probably other things that we could get right now that we need. Like, I definitely want these for the corner roofs. I don't know if we're going to need them for this facility, but if we do, I'll come back and purchase them. So I think that's everything that we're going to need for now. If anything else, I'll purchase them afterwards. 21 tickets. Alright, back to work. Alright, the power plant's almost done, but I ran out of steel and I had to go and get the steel, and then of course that left me running around just looking for more hard drives. And right there, that's definitely a hard drive up there. This is an area you can see we've been through here. There's our belt to our crystal. So I think we can moderately safely make our way over there. Let's take a look. Oh, jeez. That was close. Oh! Oh, one got out. Nope. Get out. Gas guys all around it. Oh, you know what? Don't care. We've got these now. Yeah, I made a few off camera, obviously. Bye-bye. No witnesses. Okay. Where's the box? Okay. Can we open it? Yes! So, yeah, I made some industrial beams also off camera. I needed them because the Mark III miner. Alright. I don't have the capacity to pick this stuff up. Alright, so the facility is done. I'm not looking at it yet because, you know, the reveal as we drive up to it, but then again, you've probably already seen it on the thumbnail, so I don't know why I'm hiding it. But I imagine this facility would not be high traffic. It would be something that only, you know, requires a maintenance crew or engineer every now and then. So it doesn't have a large parking lot, but they would drive up here, and here's a parking lot. They can come in here. And there's the facility. Looking pretty nice, right? So it's open. Of course, it should be open, right? And we got a little bit of a walkway here. I don't know if we're going to rerun these belts to have them, you know, like going up a road like we have at the neighborhood. We might, we may not. It's, you know, we'll play it by ear. For now, it's just the belt that we already had. And we got a little walkway here, make sure it's all nice and safe. And all of the water production, they can come around here if they need to do maintenance. It's all, you know, catwalked, which is really nice. They also have a little building here for engineers. You know, you're going to keep some supplies on site, things for repairs and whatnot. And so, you know, a little AC unit there on the outside of it. This is a small shack. That's all it's meant to be. If we go in there, we got some storage, some crates and whatnot, benches to work on, nice little window you can stare out. But it's not meant to be fancy. And we have the actual, you know, coal burners. I think they look really good here. So it's nice and organized, which is what you would expect out of this series. Everything's nice and clean and belted nicely. But we have, you know, access points so that if, you know, again, the engineers need to do any work, they can get up here real easily. There's little walkways going between them, so you don't have to be, you know, it's pretty safe here. And we have a roofing to protect them both from the environment as well as, you know, the machines, right? They're not as hit by the weather. It's kind of it's an open concept. And this is the same. Looks, you know, it's good though. And of course, everything is supported. That's why we unlocked all these metal beams. You can see how we have beams running all over the place. And we had to unlock the metal roofs and metal walls. Yeah, we spent a lot of tickets just getting little things here. But, you know, we're going to use this a lot in the long run. So, you know, they're worthy investments. And I'm glad to finally start having some of those things available to us. That includes these barriers here too. This is, you know, it's standard stuff. It's unlocked in the awesome sink. But yeah, it's not really a big tour. But the facility is important. We needed to get this done, and we couldn't get it done before we had steel because we needed the Mark III belts. And again, I wanted to have all these cosmetics to be able to do the structures and things around it. But this is pretty significant, right? If we want to get into steel, we need a lot of power. And you can see we're at a nice steady power production of 1200 now. We've doubled our power. That is excellent. That's going to give us a lot of room to work with to actually get steel up and running. And, you know, hopefully here we can get that hard drive that we're looking for, that alternate recipe. You know, I mentioned it before. I don't normally hold out for specific recipes, but there's a couple of them in the game that I find to be just absolutely critical. And if we don't have them when we build an area, we're going to come back and rebuild the area once we get them, because they're just straight out better than the default recipes, because they use the same materials but have some kind of better output. So we actually still have that one hard drive. It's been done quite a long time. Let's run up here and take a look. The parking lot, by the way, will have vehicles in it once we have vehicles unlocked. The music going on. All right. Final hard drive. Survey says steel. I love steel screws. This is a great recipe. And our wet concrete. Both of these will get used in the future, but these aren't what we're looking for. So, last chance. Oh, failure. Neither one of these will get used. I mean, I have used that, but it's very situational. And using coal for quartz, that's never going to happen. Coal has better uses. So this hard drive will probably forever stay in this list, but that's fine. Look, that's 2 of them we will never have to get again. All right. You know, it's okay. We don't need the recipe we're looking for yet because we haven't built the facility it's going to go in. All right. So the Explorer, that's not going to be hard to get. You know, we'll just make 10 of those. I'm not going to worry about it right now, but that means we are within striking distance of it. And maybe I'll make one between episodes and go running up the coast and pick up a bunch of hard drives. We'll see. We'll see. But that's going to be it for today. We got our power expanded. We have our space elevator for the first piece done. Excellent. We won't have the versatile framework yet because that requires steel. You know, we're not producing enough of it yet. But we got all the major milestones for steel unlocked. We just need to actually build the facility around it, which we can do on the next episode. So thank you very much for coming out. Be sure to leave a like on the way out. Don't forget, we have a community Discord. You know all that stuff. But I will see you in the next episode. If you enjoyed this, you may want to check out one of these other videos. And thank you very much for your time.